Hello and good evening, and welcome to the Thursday edition of The Shed. Hashtag Irish Blues Mafia with me, Trevor. You're very welcome along to this show. It's the kickoff tonight. It's the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Baltimore Ravens in week one of the NFL. Everyone's getting excited. It's the beginning of the new year for us NFL fans. So I'm looking forward to it. I won't be staying up watching it because I'm working in the morning, but I will catch up on it tomorrow evening. I'll try and stay away from social medias and keep the score out of the way. So when I watch it, I can not know who wins. But that'll be the way until Sunday evening when the same for the Packers and the Eagles game. I work over the weekend, so I'm going to be busy at that. But anyway, we'll won't miss too much. We'll keep an ear out, and Sunday evening, then I'm looking forward to the games. So for tonight's show, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the Bills Cardinals game on Sunday evening. I'm going to look a bit at the Cardinals team and what we're going to be up against, and I'm going to look at the Bills team and hopefully who we will have fit and what we can do and what to expect. I'm also going to give you the number six team of my six dark horses. That I've given you five so far, and number six tonight. And then I'm going to look at because everyone else is doing it for the crack. I wasn't going to, but I am. But I'm going to look at the MVP for this coming season. I'm going to look at Defensive Player of the Year, who I think it will be, Offensive Player of the Year, and Young Player of the Year. And I'm also going to give you my Super Bowl prediction. Um, I wasn't going to because I wasn't far off last year. I had one team in the Super Bowl, and we lost to the team that did win it in the we call it the quarterfinals. So like we weren't too far away. So we I decided to have another go and see how it comes out. Because I've listened to a lot of people about it today. I've listened to Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football. I've listened to other podcasts, Neil Reynolds and uh, uh, Jeff Reinbold on the Huddle, Inside Huddle. And everyone has a different take on who will be there and who won't. So I'll give mine. But that'll be it. So that's the show. So we'll crack into it. So the first thing I want to do to get out of the way before I start talking about the weekend's game is I'm going to give you who is my number six team as a dark horse for this coming season. Now, so far I've given you the Texans, Ravens, Lions, Rams, Falcons. So they're the five teams I've gone through so far. And team number six, to make sure I've turned the right way, is the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers for me are a dark horse because they had a bit of how would I say controversy with the Aaron Rodgers trade to the New York Jets, and Jordan Love was there in the background. They got Jordan Love in to replace Aaron Rodgers, and that's where all the issues started. But was Jordan Love going to be good enough to live up to be in Aaron Rodgers' shadow and follow him like Aaron Rodgers followed Brett Favre and so on, and be a quarterback there for years and be the number one quarterback and lead this team? And by all accounts, last year Jordan Love proved that he was. And Matt LaFleur has an awesome outfit lined up that if they click and if things go well, they can push for the Super Bowl and be a dark horse. And their division is going to be very hard to win because they're in the division with the Detroit Lions. Now, the Vikings aren't, uh, well, we don't know what the Vikings are going to be like. They have the talent, but there isn't a quarterback. And will Sam Darnold be the quarterback or not? I don't know. He could surprise us. We'll see. And then they have the rising Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams, Rome Duze, CJ Moore, all they're going to be rare to go. And the Bears have been in the doldrums for years. So they're looking to finally show their teeth and move on. But why I pick the Green Bay Packers is for the following. Excuse me, Jordan Love as your quarterback. Then proven wide receiver is Christian Watson. Now I know He's getting an injury or two here, and I'm not sure if he's going to be fit for the first game or not, but time will tell. But then in the wide receivers room too, you have Romeo Dobbs and Jaden Reed. Again, two very good and accomplished wide receivers. Running back, they acquired Josh Jacobs um, from the Las Vegas Raiders, and uh, this is, you know, a big signing for them because it also improves their running game. Josh Jacobs is a quality running back, and it's a loss for the Las Vegas Raiders, but it is a big gain for the Green Bay Packers. At tight end, they have the likes of Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, and Ben Sims, plus more there. Uh, then we go into the defensive side. Now, he has a bit of a big mouth, can cause a bit of not off field issues, but on off field issues, if you know what I mean, going for tosses at the start when he shouldn't have. But Jair Alexander is a quality defender, quality cornerback, and uh, his number speaks for itself. He is a very, very good defensive player. He's also joined by Corey I'm going to say this wrong, Ballantyne. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly or not. Then you have other defenders like Rasheen Gary, Isaiah McDuffie, Quay Walker, Xavier McKinney, Zane Anderson, and they are very good players in their positions. And the last but not least thing is the punter. The punter is Dan Whelan, and he's the Irishman, and he's wearing the green of the Green Bay Packers. So I couldn't overlook them. And they are my sixth team to be a dark horse. And I say this outside the Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers, which everyone will be going, oh, I'm picking them or I'm picking them, and outside my Bills because I would be biased. So they're my six dark horses. Now, Sunday's game, I'm going to talk about it first. So we're playing, it's 1 p.m. in Highmark, it's 6 p.m. here in Ireland, uh, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, when the schedule was released, um, this is a game we would have nailed on and say we have to win this game. And we do have to win this game, there's no question about it, but you would say we'd have to win this game. But then, as the preseason went on and training camps, the Arizona Cardinals have been pretty quiet. Now, I heard a stat today where I think Kyler Murray came back with 8 games to go and they only lost, was it two? And he was in exceptional form. And now, for me, he's a quarterback that has the talent but has to prove it and has to show the interest. So whether he does or not, I don't know. But I went through some other players. So they have tight ends of Trey McBride and Elijah Higgins. They have a new running back, James Conner. He's supposed to be lethal. And the Bills will have to watch out for him on Sunday. Then they also got in the draft Marvin Harrison Jr., who is apparently on paper, with all the draft picks that were made, he was number 4, that he was the top player in the draft if you kept everyone equal. But because the quarterbacks is a more specific place and more, in demand, that's why he went number 4, not number 1. Now, if Kyler Murray clicks and if Marvin Harrison Jr. clicks, then the Arizona Cardinals will be a threat this year. Zay Jones is wide receiver, Chris Moore as well. In defense, you have Zayvon Collins, Dadron, Dadrion Taylor, Buda Baker, and more. So, they're not going to be a pushover. Do I expect us to win? Yes. Do we have to win? Yes. Losses have to be kept to a minimum this year because pressure. There's a lot of big teams, a lot of teams looking to push and go, we are Super Bowl contenders. Then I look at our side, excuse me now for a minute, and I look at players that we need to stand up. So we have, say, our top 5 for me, players, etc., are Josh, as in offensively, Josh Allen, of course, quarterback. Then you have running back James Cook. Then you have tight end Dalton Kincaid. Then you have wide receiver Kahil Shakir, Curtis Samuel, and Keon Coleman, who's the rookie. Now, Keon Coleman and uh, Marvin Harrison Jr. This will be an interesting because there's two quarterbacks that will throw the ball and there's two wide receivers that's looking to receive it. But for me, there are five or six weapons that we have that can hurt teams. Now we also have Dawson Knox, and we also have Ray Davis, uh, and we have Ty Johnson in the running back area as well that can do it. But these boys have to be on form. Um, then our kicker, that's a guy that I think we need to put his demons away because a game could come down to it. And Tyler Bass, for me, the first 5, 6 games of the season will, for me, decide the season. If he kicks on and maybe hopefully misses nothing, but if he only misses one shot in 5 games, whatever he's at, be it an extra point or be it a 3 pointer, it doesn't cost us, then good and well, we have Tyler Bass as our kicker. But after 5 or 6 games and Tyler Bass is missing a lot, or more than he should be, then I'm afraid we should be going looking for a kicker because that game against the Chiefs last year, and yes, they would have had time to try and go down the field again, but who knows? But if he kicked that through the goal and nothing against the person, I'm just saying, it would have been level. It would have made it very, very interesting. But the pressure is on Tyler Bass this year, as is Sam Martin, another guy. I thought he punted okay at the end of the season last year, but others were critical of him. So again, time will tell. Then on the defensive side, we have Christian Brentford and Terrell Bernard, linebacker and cornerback. They're going to be big games. Rasul Douglas, another cornerback. Ed Oliver, defensive tackle. Greg Rousseau, defensive end. Um, like these are guys that we will need to stand up and lead the team. Um, Linebacker Baylor Spector. Now I don't know if Casey Tuhill will play, but he's a guy that has plenty of experience. And these are boys or men that we will need to stand up because every game counts. And from what I hear, there's other than Mitch Trubisky with his knee, everyone else is pretty well good to go. So we need to be ready to go on Sunday. We're at home. It's in our stadium. Uh, I know Mark Hogan from Pro Football Ireland. He's a Cardinals man, and I said to him this evening at the competition I'm running, there was 31 teams that had at least one tick for a win with everyone that's in it. And until his uh, predictions came in, and he made it 32. And believe it or not, there is one person out of so far there's 20 in it that have sent me in entries, and there's 5 or 6 more to come. Uh, that has believes in the Arizona Cardinals beating the Buffalo Bills. So, Mark, you were the man to put the final team in. Um, I'm not saying you're going to be wrong. But as a Bills fan, I expect us to beat the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday. Now, the good news from that I heard during the week that cleared things up as a Buffalo Bills fan is Jamar Hamlin has been named as the starting safety for the Buffalo Bills, and I think this is brilliant. Jamar Hamlin, for those who are new to the podcast or new to American football is watching, uh, he well, it'll be 2 years ago now. Come the end of the season, December, January time, I think it was. He collapsed on the Cincinnati Bengals field and well, basically stopped breathing. But thankfully, he was brought back, resuscitated, and he's alive. Last year, he was there as um, he played some games, and he wasn't really in the he was recovering and getting back, and but he did play some games. And I was fortunate to see him on the pitch in London. He didn't play that day, but just to see him on the pitch, it made me heart beat happily. And now he's been named starting safety. So congratulations to Maher. It's a long time, 2 years to get back to where you were. You were a very good footballer before, but it shows that thank God you can. And I wish you a very successful season and stay healthy and keep it going because you're an inspiration to people who, when they face dark times, look at you and say, well, this man can do it. Look what he has done. I can do it too. Now, the final thing I'm going to talk about tonight is a few things. So, even though I have glasses on, I'm taking off my glasses for this. So I watched some podcasts and shows and stuff, and listened to things as well about who's going to be in the Super Bowl. I'm going to leave that to last. But also who's going to be MVP, who's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, who's going to be Offensive Player of the Year, and who's going to be Young Player of the Year. Now, I'm going to start with Young Player of the Year. So my Young Player of the Year will be, and this is only a prediction, Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears. Now, I've looked at a lot of players, and we have our own Keon Coleman, and I expect big things from Keon. I think it's in him, and I think he will deliver. Um, you have Jaden Daniels, who's gone to the Commanders, and I think they expect things. But why I picked Caleb Williams is he was the number one pick in the draft. He's going to a franchise that had Justin Fields as their quarterback, who was supposed to be the next big thing. Now, I will say this preseason is crap in American football. It gives you no idea of what is or what isn't. But the plays that Caleb Williams was on the field for the Chicago Bears, he was dangerous looking. And he found his men and he created issues for teams. Now you can say, well, teams didn't try and so on and so forth. But he's also had a very good training camp as well, from what I hear. So it's a shot in the dark, as all these predictions are. But I just think that if Caleb Williams can bring his preseason form into the regular season, and it'll start this weekend, and we'll see it, I think he's a very good shout at being Young Player of the Year. Next position we're going to is Offensive Player of the Year. Now, I predicted this last year, and I'm going to predict the same this year, that Offensive Player of the Year will be Christian McCaffrey of the San Francisco 49ers. Because Christian McCaffrey is an absolutely is a diamond, right? He's a rarity. He's a rare diamond. This guy, we have one that we're molding in James Cook to be kind of similar, but this guy's ahead of everybody else. Is a running back that's impossible to stop, and basically a wide receiver that you can throw balls to and run, and he'll get touchdowns, and he can block. So he can be a tight end as well. So, like, this guy has everything. Last year, he had, as in his yards, 1,459 rushing yards. He had 272 attempts. He averaged 5.4 yards and had 14 touchdowns. That was in his rushing game. Then, in his receiving game, he had 83 targets. He got 564 yards, 8.4 as an average. That's nearly a first down on average, and got 7 touchdowns. So that's 21 touchdowns for what you class as a running back. He has got paid, but compared to others, I don't think it's enough. But in running back terms, apparently he's got paid a lot. So that's who I think will be the Offensive Player of the Year this year. Now, Defensive Player of the Year this year. Last year, it was Myles Garrett who got it from the Cleveland Browns. Um, I don't know. He got it. Good luck to him. I think TJ Watt had a great shout as well. And these two guys again will be in the mix for this year. But I ain't going for any of them. I'm going for Max Crosby of the Las Vegas Raiders. Max Crosby had 14 and a half sacks last year. Max Crosby has got more ammunition to help him in his defensive line. And Max Crosby will cause more damage this year. And he's a guy just driven to go after the quarterback. Driven, driven, driven. Every play. He's a leader at the Las Vegas Raiders. And if the Las Vegas Raiders, now Gardner Minshew will do well, but if they had a quality quarterback, they're a team that, with the likes of Max Crosby, that can push on and push for a Super Bowl. And he's a guy that any team would want to be in their locker room, because I've seen interviews, and yes, there's a swag about him, but this guy, when he goes out in that field, it's just pure, I'm going to get you in the story. You're mine. And he's done it to Mahomes, he's done it to everyone. So, you know, that's who I think the Defensive Player of the Year will be this year. Now we come to MVP. So the current MVP is Lamar Jackson from Baltimore Ravens. Then you have the likes of Patrick Mahomes, who everyone is raving about, and he isn't. Don't get me wrong, he is has the rings. He's the top guy. He's the one we have. Well, us and everyone else has to beat this year. But let's go back to 2023 season, just gone. Lamar Jackson got MVP, and I think wrongly, because the MVP last year, who I think should have got it, is the guy I'm going for this year to get it. And whether you think I've got coloured glasses on, or I'm drunk, or whatever else, I'm not. But I will tell you why in a second. My MVP for this year is Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, quarterback. He had 4,306 rushing or thrown passing yards last year. He had 29 passing touchdowns. He had a rating of 92.2. Now, the only thing was he had 18 interceptions, but that's Josh Allen's game. You take the good and the bad. But I didn't put in his rushing yards. That's on top of his 29 throwing yards. He had 15 rushing touchdowns. And who can forget the brilliant run he had against Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoff, where he cut them to shreds? He has everything. He was the best quarterback on paper in the NFL last year, and he didn't get it. So if I know Josh Allen, like I see him, and I think I know him, let's fire up Josh Allen's backside, and he will plow on this year, because it's a title and it's a nice thing. And yes, everyone wants Super Bowl, but he doesn't get the accolades that he deserves. He gets praise, but he's not better than Mahomes. Yet in the last 3 years, he's beaten Mahomes more than Mahomes has beaten him. Right? So let's have a look at it. Have a look at the facts. Look at the paper. I don't know how it was or it wasn't voted by who, but the guy that had the best numbers on paper in his position, which is the most important position in the NFL, did not get MVP last year, which is wrong. So that is why I'm going for Josh Allen MVP this year. And my final prediction, and it's the one that I wasn't going to do, but I'm going to do it. Why not? I heard Peter Schrager today on Good Morning Football say Kansas City Chiefs are doing a chief piece instead of a three-piece. There was more Chiefs picks. Jerry Ardall picked the Baltimore Ravens. Grant put the Bills in the Super Bowl, but losing to the Lions. And then on other shows, I heard that it's the Lions of the 49ers versus the Chiefs, maybe the Ravens, but the Chiefs are going to win it. And good luck to them. Last year, I predicted 49ers against the Bills. Well, my first team in the Super Bowl this year is, again, the San Francisco 49ers. And the reason is Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey. I can go on and on and on. In the NFC, they are the team. Their head coach is Kyle Shanahan. Yes, he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, but the guy knows how to get there, and he has an awesome team. And they have built and got stronger. So, who will be playing the San Francisco 49ers? The Buffalo Bills. Yeah, the Buffalo Bills. I'm not afraid of Patrick Mahomes. I'm not afraid of the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not afraid of the AFC. We have Josh Allen, and I trust and believe in Josh Allen. We have got weapons that are different. We've got Toxic out of the dressing room. He's gone to Houston. Good luck to him. I wish him well. We'll talk about him in a few weeks' time. But I do believe that Josh Allen will win a Super Bowl. Buffalo Bills will win a Super Bowl. Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Kahil Shakir. These guys are guys that can win you games. Tight end, I think, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. He's not going to be classed the same as Travis Kelce. Travis Kelsey has proven himself, but this guy is proving himself in Dalton Kincaid, and he's going to play a big part. We've got a running back now that is dangerous in James Cook. We have defenders that I think are on par with last year. If they can stay fit, it was injuries that cost us against the Chiefs. Now I know we're missing Matt Milano, but he should be coming back in December time. Please God, he'll have a full recovery. He will be like signing brand new top of the range player because he is brilliant. Von Miller has to deliver this year. No excuses. Has to deliver. If he doesn't, then it's time to move him on. But he has a full preseason behind him. He's ready to go. He has to come in. Dion Dawkins, another guy that's going to lead us. And that is why I think we will get there. I might have, you know, tinted colored glasses on because I'm a Bills fan. It might be my passion. It might be whatever. They could go out Sunday and the Arizona Cardinals could stuff them. It's only predictions, but I don't think so. I think that it's going to be what I said last year, but happening this year is the Bills versus the 49ers. And I'm not going to predict who's going to win it because you know who I'm going to pick. But they are my predictions. You can let me know what you think. Um, I respect Mahomes. I respect the Chiefs. I respect Lamar. I respect the Ravens. I respect Burrow and the Bengals. But I fear nobody because we have Josh Allen. And in my eyes, Josh Allen is the man. So, in the story. So that's my video for tonight, folks. As I said, it's kickoff. It's the Ravens Ravens at the Chiefs. It's the AFC Championship game from last year. There's a big excitement about it at the start of the season. I wish both teams well. Um, I do think the Chiefs will win tonight, but it'll be interesting to see how Lamar and Derrick Henry get on as a unit, and will they cause the Chiefs a lot of issues. But it's good to have the NFL back and something to look forward to and be excited about. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be back on again, please God, on Tuesday evening, where we'll review the weekend's games gone and any discussion and talking points. And I'll let you know who is where in my competition. And then on the following Thursday, again, all go well, we'll preview, and that'll be my way. I have a few special guest edition episodes going to be within as the season goes by. I have some people already booked, and I'll book others as the season goes on. And I'm looking forward to them. They'll be interesting, and as the season kicks on a bit more, we'll have more to talk about and what's good and what's bad and what's ugly and so on. So have a wonderful weekend, my friends. Please all stay safe, stay happy, stay together. And as always, NFL is back, and go Bills.